All right, once again, this is another video by MOSJARO looking at some questions. And you know how we used to do it, not just looking at the questions. We are trying to analyze why the answer is what is like that. So quickly, the videos are usually very, very short so that you go grab them quickly, will not they waste time. So more look at this question where they here. So they said, which of the following compounds we undergo polymerization? Now, if you have been watching my videos, you know how we used to do it, not just looking at the questions. We want to look at each term so that you will understand them well. Oh yeah, look at this one now. They said polymerization. Now, for some persons, this looks like a very big grammar. What does it mean for somebody to undergo polymerization? Now, let's take it like this. Now, polymerization simply means, in the name of sweet, so I mean you get them. Simply means the addition of small molecules. Small molecules. They might be the same, but they might be different. All depends on the kind of polymer that is being formed. Now, the joining together of smaller molecules to now form bigger molecules. Now, those small molecules that joins together to form a larger molecule are now regarded as what? Are now regarded as monomers. So if we want run them like this now, very fast, time no dey, it simply means and if we add monomer and monomers together. Now, remember, these monomers are small molecules. If you add them together, we are going to have what? We are going to have polymers. Now, remember, it must not be two. It shouldn't be two anyways. It must not be two. That means adding many monomers together to now form a giant molecules known as what? Polymer. Now, let's take this question again. I said, which of the following compound will undergo polymerization reaction? Now, they gave us different options. Now, they gave us this is an alcohol, obviously. For those of us who say not identify organic compound. Now, there's a video that I did on identification of organic compound through their functional group. That's why you have to subscribe and go through the videos. They are usually short, so I will not take your time. Now, look at those functional group videos so that you're able to identify organic compound. Now, obviously, this is an alcohol because of the OH group. This is an alkanoic acid or a carboxylic acid because of the carboxylic group. Now, this compound is an alkane. Now, how you go tell us say na alkane? Now, this compound falls or agrees with the general formula of CnH2n plus 2. How it will be like that, MOSJARO? Now, remember, if here now 2, me say if I put 2 here now, it will come be C2. That means my N is 2. It will come be C2, H, 2 times 2 is how many now? 4 plus 2, that gives me 6. So it conforms. So this general formula of alkane, definitely this guy here is what? Is an alkane. Now, but if you look at the other guy, this guy now in our 18, maybe you can't think say, how would they know? Because this video you must use it, even if you are not so good with chemistry, you're able to understand it very well. That's why I'm trying to break it down step by step. JJ. Now look at it now. Now see this guy right there now. It simply means say the N are 2. And if you put them into this formula, you say you know will get this molecular formula. That means that the formula to arrive at this guy is for CnH2n. So if you do have C2, 2 times 2 is how many? Is 4. So you can see that, and it's alkanes that have this word, have this general formula. So I have to take my time for you to understand. So now we don't already know. Say, okay, come on, this guy in alcohol, this guy in a carbonyl group, this guy in alkane, and this other guy in what? Now alkene. That means it's an 18. Now, if we have said that, if we have analyzed that, remember, come back to what we were saying just now. That the joining of smaller molecules to form larger ones. That process is called what? Polymerization. Now, for knowledge sake, there are 2 types of polymerization. There's what we call addition polymerization reaction. Then we have what? We have condensation polymerization reaction. You see what I'm saying? Now, I will bring out a video to fully explain these two, but let me just bring out a little tidbit so that you go feel understand them. Say, okay, make I'll use this thing now. Go to NAC question for example. Now, look at what's the meaning of addition polymerization. This one means that in the addition of these monomers, if I add monomers together to form the polymers, that no small amount of compound is removed. Now, what do we mean by that? It means that if I'm adding monomers together, there's no molecule that is removed, either hydrogen or water, that all the atoms where they the monomers, now they form the polymer. You see, so no small molecule is removed. Now I'm trying to break it down. But when it comes to condensation polymerization, small molecules are removed, such as water molecules. So what that one mean be say not be all the atom with they the monomers, now they form the polymers. So they get the matter. Now that is just a little bit example of those polymers that form from polymerization reaction. We have polyethylene, we have PVC, we have what's it called, perspex. Now all these are examples of what, of addition polymerization. Now if you hear what I talk just now, polyethylene, PVC, that is polyvinyl chloride, not the permanent voter card, not disgrace yourself. Now we also have what, perspex. Now that question on perspex, now look at the spelling for knowledge sake very fast. Now that question on perspex has been out. They brought it out several times. They will not say which of the following polymer has a glass-like appearance. Now this guy, so this guy has a what, a glass-like appearance. Now you now know the difference between addition polymerization, condensation polymerization. Now example of condensation polymer, we have nylon, we have terylene. You get them? So all these you should know when it comes to polymerization reaction. But now let's now go to the question. Compounds that undergo polymerization are usually what? Unsaturated compounds. You see, that means to say, MOSJARO, what are you trying to tell us? That alkene can undergo polymerization reaction, yes. That alkyne can undergo polymerization reaction, yes. But can alkane undergo polymerization reaction? No, because why? Alkanes are what? Are saturated. So you get the matter now. So it's usually unsaturated hydrocarbons that undergo what? Polymerization reaction. Now looking at the options, you will see that your answer there is what? Is D. Being that this is an ethene, and an ethene is the first member of the what? Of the alkene. Now come back to the options. Now this is an alcohol, but I want to say something about this guy. Now this is an alkanoic acid, or if you like, this is a carboxylic what? Carboxylic acid. Now carboxylic acid can combine, but they will form a dimer. Now what's a dimer? Like two things joining together. For instance, now okay, let me break down something. Now for instance, I have ROCOOH. Sure, you know say na carboxylic acid be this one. Now this guy can combine to form a dimer. That means two of this guy. Now we now have ROCOO. It is so. Then we can't get what? Now this a dimer. Then they call them anhydride. Now this video is not just to make you know the answer. Of course we are posting our answer, we don't get our answer since say okay, it's unsaturated hydrocarbons that undergo polymerization reaction. Now this video is about you getting to know that we have two types of polymerization reaction, and again, what's polymerization reaction? Where small molecules known as monomers combine to form what? Giant molecules. But I made mention of the word giant. Now we don't go again. You see, point they waste. Now when you hear giant molecules, I want to beg you, it's not all giant molecules that are polymers, but all polymers are giant molecules. Now, what do we mean by that? We simply mean that for instance, lipids are giant molecules, but they are not polymers. But you see, proteins are polymers, and they are giant molecules. So what's the monomer of protein? Obviously, you know it's amino acids. Show you the get them now. Now we have carbohydrate, yes, we have the cellulose. Yes, these are polymers. We have starch, it's a polymer, obviously. Show you this also. Now, but when it comes to lipid, it's a giant molecule, but it's not a polymer. So that statement I made, that not all giant molecules are polymers, but all polymers are what? Are giant molecules. Now, be very careful and pay attention to what I said about carboxylic acid again, that it can form what? Dimer. Now that dimer is called what? It's called anhydride. Let me write it out. Bless, I never write and come aside. It's known as what? Anhydride. Not the acid anhydride of oxides of non-metal. So you have to be very, very, very careful. Now, make sure that you share this video. Make sure that you go through the video again in case you did not get it the first time, so that you can get it very, very well. More videos will be dropping for those persons that are writing what? The UTME examination 2026. And of course, those persons that have what? Problems in trashing what? Chemistry. Now remember that chemistry is very, very easy. Now mindset. Now I'll see you in the other video.